Punch Out Boxing, delighted to be here with Taran Willett. I think it's been over a year since we spoke at York Hall. Yeah, where you been?
I went through quite a few changes in my life. Had a had a daughter, last year.
Well, that is big.
Obviously, pregnancy leading up to that, so I took time out of sport just to focus on, my growing family and stuff like that. Relocated to a new area as well. So originally I was boxing out of Hounslow. Now I'm boxing out of Camberley with Charlie Oliver out of Camberley Boxing Club. It was just pure coincidence. It was nothing to do with the box club itself as to why I moved there. But when I moved there, I found out one of my old coaches, not Charlie, an associate of Charlie's. He just so happened to be down there, and he was the guy that I first ever kind of had any fights with. He was in my corner when I was an amateur, and he was like, "Come down, train. Just come down and train." I was like, "Sweet, mate," but I'm not promising anything. Next thing I know, I'm getting my license again. So yeah, back here again, man. You know what I mean? That's the story, mate. That's the story so far.
You know, you fighters are like, all it takes is hitting the pads a couple of times here. The addiction just kicks back in. So, but anyway, listen, it's great you're back because the heavyweight division is absolutely golden in the UK. So it'd be a pity if you missed out on it. So, what's it? But over a year absent, straight back into a hard fight though.
Well, we did discuss potentially having a bit of an easier one, but this opportunity came up, and obviously boxing on the zone, you know what I mean? Can't really turn it down. Even if I go out there, obviously I'm planning on winning, planning out to go and give it my all. But no matter what happens, as long as I give a good showing of myself, I would consider myself to then be in the picture for more bigger fights down the line. Do you know what I mean? So it was just an opportunity we couldn't really turn down. So I had a word with Charlie. He thinks I can do it. If he thinks I can do it, I've got trust in him. So I'm going to give it a crack, man. You know what I mean? That's it.
Well, good on you. I mean, do you know much about Krasmaro? Looks like yourself, he's unbeaten. But I remember when we spoke, you said your next fight you want another prospect like yourself.
Yeah, yeah. So my first two fights were actually against people who would come into, against prospects. First go, it was both our debut on our first one. My second fight, that one was we both 1-0, 1 KO. And when I fight people like that, I feel more. It gets me more into it. Do you know what I mean? It gets more into it. It feels more important, and I feel like it sends more of a message. If you go in there and you just knock over like some journeyman, something like that, it can make you look good. It's a good highlight reel thing, but in reality, is that really doing anything for you? And I think fights like this is definitely gonna lead me to where I want to be a lot quicker than if I was just to fight, knock a couple of journeymen over and stuff like that. So yeah, I much prefer fighting fellow prospects, and I think it makes for better fights for the fans as well. Two guys actually trying to take each other out leads to more openings, more potentially someone getting KO'd. So I think yeah. But all round, I think it's better for everyone. If prospects are fighting each other.
Yeah, and I think that definitely the whole obsession around long unbeaten records, I think it's gone. We've seen recently, as you said, prospects fight each other. You lose. Actually now you get other good fights as long as you put in a show. Um, so yeah, you want to get that out of the way. But yeah, what's the training situation? What have you been working on since you've got back in the gym? Anything in particular in terms of what technically, conditioning wise? What did you think you needed to get right?
So one thing that we've been doing is we've just been slowing things down. So ever since I was an amateur, I was always more of a I need to hit him as many times as I can. I wasn't really focusing on the quality of the punches, and I do, in my personal opinion, believe that's why I don't have so many KOs on my record, because I was more just volume punching, and obviously over the course of 4 rounds, can't really wear them down too much over that period of time. Volume punch would work over a longer period, but we've been focusing more on just the quality of the shots as opposed to the quantity of the shots, things like that. That's one of the main things we've been doing. Obviously, it's my first six rounder as well. So in terms of conditioning, we've just been doing loads of stuff trying to get me ready to do those extra couple of rounds because I've never done them before. So lots of extra rounds on the pads, extra rounds in sparring, things like that. Circuits, doing lots of hard circuits, things like that. Just trying to get myself, make sure that I can continue to pressure from the first round to the sixth round. And yeah, so that's pretty much what we've been working on mostly. Yeah.
Any good guys you've been sparring with that we might have heard of?
Well, one guy you might know, Nick Webb. he I think he might have relinquished it now, but in his last fight, he won the Southern Area title. But he is essentially my training partner at the moment. Another big guy, do you know what I mean? 6'5", very strong individual, very physical. And yeah, so he's, for me, I couldn't ask for a better training partner. I see him every single week. And yeah, he's helping me get ready for this one.
Oh, fantastic! Because I think originally there was meant to be a heavyweight tournament on this card, but it's fallen through. Are you going to be targeting that Southern Area title for the end of the year if things work out?
So, in all honesty, I would love to fight for any kind of title. As a boxer, starting out, I just wanted to have one amateur fight just to give it a go. So if I could fight for a professional title on any level, I would be I'm more than happy to do that, and it would be a great thing for me to accomplish. And if my manager Charles could get something set up with a good opponent, then I'd absolutely love to fight for a Southern Area title.
Yeah, it's not like I said. The heavyweight division is so strong in the UK. Even a domestic level title is actually a big deal at the moment.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely say so. There's like you said, there's some great domestic level fighters about at the moment. Obviously, you got Jamie TKV against Adelaide rematch coming up. I fought TKV as an amateur. He's actually the last guy to ever beat me in the ring. But I sparred Adelaide as well. And yeah, there's definitely some good talent around. Do you know what I mean? And definitely loads of exciting fights to make. Loads of exciting fights to make. Definitely.
I think we could do a tournament for every level, for the prospects, for the British level, for the world level. But we need the guys with all the money to come on, guys. Turkey and DAZN start coughing up. Any guys that you've got your eyes on, maybe as potential opponents?
I'm going to be honest, as of right now, I'll be totally honest with you. My main focus is just my opponent right now. I'm not looking past this fight at all. For me, everything stops at the 25th of May, and whatever happens from there on out, then we will see what happens later on down the line. But me personally, I know everyone says it, but I'm happy to fight anybody. I always come for a scrap. You know what I mean? I consider myself more of a fist fighter than a boxer. You know what I mean? I like, I'll take three to give one. But I'm happy to fight anybody, and preferably guys that I could also put on a bit of a show with. Do you know what I mean? But as of right now, there's no one specific. Like I said, my main focus is just getting this one out of the way on the 25th, and just seeing where we go from there, really.
Yeah, fab. Do you follow the sport as a fan? Do you take an interest in what's going on in the heavyweight division?
Yeah, I do. I do follow the sport follow the sport as a fan. Yeah, I watch what's going on in the heavyweight division at the moment. Like I said, that I'm interested in that British title fight that's coming up. Seeing as I don't know them like that, but I know both the two. I've shared a ring both the two in some capacity, so that's definitely one on my radar. I'm looking forward to 100%. Do you know what I mean?
I've got to ask your opinion then about some of the things going on. Obviously, Johnny Fisher, he's got that rematch with Allen. I guess he's another prospect in the south of the country, potential opponent. How do you see that first fight? How do you see the rematch? Was he in too deep too soon?
In my opinion, I think, with all due respect, I believe that David Allen won that fight. I think he should have got the decision, and I think a lot of people agree, and obviously that's why the rematch is taking place. I think Johnny Fisher would have to come a little bit differently, not trying to come to bang him out, because David Allen is a very tough man. Obviously, my training partner Nick's been with him, he knows. He beat my training partner Nick. Um, so I think he'd need to come in and maybe box a bit more, be a bit more careful, not try to get into a bit of a war, because, like I said, Dave Allen can have a war. Do you know what I mean? And he's got the stamina to keep it up as well. So if he comes the same way, I can see David Allen beating him on points. I think they'd be a bit more fair to him on the cards this time, considering what happened last time. But I think it's possible that Johnny Fisher can do it, as long as he, like I said, changes what he does a little bit, tries to box a little bit more, things like that. I think he can do it, but I would still probably lean more towards David Allen winning that fight.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, well, I think most people have been saying that they think Fisher will get it done this time. Obviously, that British title fight, I'm sure you saw the first one. Did you think Jamie was nullifying David's big punching, and do you think he will do so again in the rematch?
I think that Jamie can definitely win that fight. I think it's definitely a winnable fight for him. especially with his style. You know, like you said about nullifying the things like that. He's very good on the inside, very strong. So I think that's definitely a fight that he can win. And obviously, what happened with the judges last time, not the judges, sorry, with the ref and that last time wasn't great. I think TKB can pull it this time. I think I'd put my money on TKB.
Oh, interesting. Again, another big fight. Fabio Wardley. Of course, he's got quite a fairy tale story.
Yeah.
I've seen Big Baby Miller coming in again
Banged out, baby Miller.
with all that sort of ghetto energy, as Fabio's pointed out. When you're in the ring, it don't matter how much attitude you've got.
No.
How's that fight go?
I see Wardley doing it. I see Wardley taking him out. I do. I see him stopping him. Big Baby Miller. Big Baby Miller is, you know, once again, with all due respect, he got popped for taking things he shouldn't have been taking, and ever since then, he hasn't really been the same. I can't see him getting past Wardley. You know, Wardley he's a ferocious puncher. Obviously, we saw what he did to Fraser Clark. And I feel like that it's going to get to him in the end. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think he will stop him at some point in the fight. Probably in the later rounds. Baby Miller's a very tough human being, very heavy set individual, can absorb a lot of punishment, but there's only so many of those punches you can take. So yeah, I'd say probably round 7 onwards. I'd say stoppage for Fabio Wardley.
Oh, fantastic. Right at the top of the division, the scene's a bit murky. I guess there's all sorts of political manoeuvring. Is it going to be Derek against Daniel? Is it going to be Daniel against Usyk? How do you see that? I mean, Usyk is another year older, and Daniel, with his dad in the corner, it seems he's a different fighter. For whatever reason, he needs his dad barking orders, but when he gets it, he's relentless.
Mm. Yeah, he definitely has shown a different side to himself recently. A lot of people were obviously doubting him. Excuse me. A lot of people thought he was a bit of a quitter. I think he's shown that he wasn't. He ate a lot of right hands off of Hrgovic, do you know what I mean? And carried on coming forward and ended up stopping in the end. Um, I think if they fight again, it's hard to bet against Usyk because he is what Usyk has done in recent years. I don't think will be replicated for a very long time. To come up in the modern era from a cruiserweight and to go up to heavyweight. Heavyweights are so much bigger now, so much heavier, you know, so much more mass. And the fact that he cleared out the cruiserweights, moved up, cleared out the heavyweights, Tyson Fury was considered the best heavyweight on the planet, one of the best of our generation. He's beaten twice. You know, it's very hard for me to bet against Usyk. I know he's getting a bit older, but I'd still have to go with Usyk on that one, just because he's a once in a generation talent, in my opinion.
Yeah, indeed. And if Derek does get that fight, I mean, people are talking about, he could get hurt against Daniel if that fight does come off. Apparently, the IBF have ordered it. I mean, does he have a chance? I mean, he's got every old trick in the book, and we know he doesn't just roll over.
No, he's got to be one of the toughest people in the world. Definitely. I would say I would go with Dubois though. He's got youth on his side. I believe Derek's around 40 now, isn't he?
Yeah.
So, and he's taking a lot of punish. I have a lot of respect for him. I take a lot from his style. I consider myself in the same kind of vein as that kind of style, you know. But I would have to go with Dubois. If that fight gets made, I'd have to pick Dubois just because of the youth. He's got natural advantages, taller, more rangy, and he is also, once again, a ferocious puncher. And there's only so much you can take before eventually you start chipping away. So I would go with Dubois in that instance, definitely.
It's going to be after Usyk retires, which he says will be this year. Next year is going to be a fascinating time. Who do you think will be the top players? There's Kabayel, who's looking a real danger man, probably the best body puncher in the division. Parker, he's getting a second lease of life. And of course, you've got Moses, our own Moses, the most prodigious talent in the game. Probably most.
He is a special,
I mean,
he's a special one.
who do you foresee are going to be the top guys, say, this time next year?
In my opinion, I do think Parker is going to do very well. He's had like a career, like you said, a career resurgence later on, and he's looking fantastic. I know that I forget his name now. What's the gentleman he just fought on short notice? Bacoli, that's it, right? So I understand that he stepped in on short notice, but he was the boogeyman of the division. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, they don't want to fight him. They don't want to fight him," and he fought him on short notice, completely unprepared for him. Like I said, I know obviously he probably wasn't in the best condition, but to take him out in 2 rounds like that, I think that's very impressive, and I think it shows that he could be a force to be reckoned with, Joseph Park. If he keeps on the trajectory that he's on, I think he could definitely pick up a belt. 100%, he's definitely someone who could pick up a belt. Obviously, once Usyk's retired, all the belts are vacated. I can see him becoming a champion again, definitely.
Yeah, well, the heavyweight division always fascinating, even more so, I think, in the coming years. All right, Taran, thank you so much for your insights. Most importantly, yeah, good luck on the 25th, and welcome back. We missed you. Please don't go missing again.
No, I won't, mate. I'm here to stay this time, man.
All right, Jermaine, we'll see you in 3 weeks.
Thank you very much.